Good morning, everyone. Just waiting for a few of you to join in this morning. I hope you're having a great Friday. I wanted to take a minute to chat about an upcoming series I am hoping to do myself and with the help of Amy from Para Women Network and some of my subs. I've asked a lot of you if you would join in kind of being a panel person to chat about autoimmune disease. I feel this is something really important I want to talk about. I know many people are on my YouTube channel for true crime, and that's great. But hey, Charlene. But I've noticed a lot of you have really connected with some of the health videos I have done as well. And I feel obligated, and I always told myself when I got better and got cured from cancer that I would do something to help others. And I've always felt like I haven't been at that point yet because I'm still not feeling 100%. But I guess the best thing I can do right now is talk about health. And if that's as good as I can do right now, then that's fine. I think I need to be okay with that. And raise awareness to people. There are so many different autoimmune diseases out there, and a lot of my generation, the millennials, are being diagnosed with these autoimmune diseases. And I have to think it's something environmental going on. I wish we could pinpoint what it is. Is it the food we're eating? Is it being around electronic devices? I mean, I know it all. That's really not funny, whoever that was that made that comment, because there are people that have that. But there's something going on causing an increase in autoimmune diseases. So there's that. I truly am one of the believers that it does have a lot to do with food and what we put into our bodies, because you're not seeing this in a lot of other countries that are eating healthier than we do in America. So I'm curious. I know a lot of people in my group have lupus, fibromyalgia. Hi, Sophia. I have, that's really funny, Joey, MS. And then 2 years after that, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that has been like a whole nother journey in itself. So, eating right, obviously. Everyone could do better, right? We could all do better. I don't think it's the best thing to be eating a lot of these processed foods. You also then see a lot of opportunity for people to do terrible things, like sell supplements that are going to cure this or cure that. And thank you, Ben. I'm cancer free now, which is great. But it has been a long road to recovery. Chemotherapy, you guys, is no joke. It is toxic. If I could have done this all over again and I wasn't in a panic, I probably would have opted out and done a different way of handling it. What's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. But yeah, KM, I don't really have anything good. Sorry. But if I did have the secret to wellness, I would share it with all of you. The one thing I've learned in my journey of health is how much our country is all about making money. They don't mind us being sick because it is one love. I'll get back to that question in a minute. I really like that question. They're making money off of us. They're scaring us into thinking, if you don't do this, you're going to die. So the medicine it cost, I think the last bill I looked at, like how much all of my chemo and all of the drugs was like, I could have bought a house for that price. Luckily, insurance is great. But when I talk to a lot of my friends here from Australia, and they're like, I can't believe that you guys have to pay for healthcare. That's insanity. I mean, it is. It's a moneymaker. What do I miss the most about the 80s? Are you also a millennial? So I pose that question to you as well. I miss the most, and I think this is because I'm a parent now, letting my kids go play outside until dark, having fun without feeling the need I have to go check on them, because this day and age, there's always something happening. Well, it's not forcing them. It's more of, you can't trust the people in your community anymore. Not that that wasn't happening in the 80s, but it was happening maybe less, or maybe we weren't hearing about it as much. But I will tell you, so you were born in 92, life looked happier and more simple. It definitely was. No joke. So we are like not that far apart in age, but like I'm telling you, we would get home from school, no one would be home. You got yourself a snack because your parents would be working, and you'd go get on your bike and you'd go meet your friends down the street, and you didn't have a cell phone. You just like left a note for your mom at the park with Kim or whatever, and you came home when it started to get dark, and that's just what it was. And I feel like you can't do that anymore. My kids, I am paranoid they're playing in the cul-de-sac in front of my house because people drive around like nutcases, and I just don't know what it is about. And as I worked in the news industry, I would see more of these terrible stories about kids getting picked up, kids getting kidnapped for human trafficking. And I know a lot of people think that's in like movies and Hollywood, but I'm not joking, you guys. I live outside of Atlanta, and Atlanta is the hub for human trafficking, and it is scary. And what these groups of human traffickers are doing is they're getting women to help them. 84. They will like hire or force a woman maybe in her 50s to go to parks. Like we have this very common park here in Atlanta called Stone Mountain Park. And it is like a place where families go and there are shows and big green space to run around. So most people will go let their kids run around for a little bit. Well, we've had several stories here locally where women will go out and kind of grab the child's hand and try to walk off with them. And this is a tactic of the human trafficking. Like, they will tell the child, oh, you're lost, I'm trying to help you find your parents. And there's been some really alert people who have noticed a child in trouble, and then they will confront the child and say, is this your parent? And they'll be like, no, And then the woman will be bold enough to say, no, 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 he's mine, he's mine. And then as soon as, you know, they're getting ready to call security over, the woman runs off. So it's really, no, I do not. I do not vape. I would suggest you guys not doing any vaping, doing any smoking. That is another cancer deal. So no, I mean, I think everyone tried, we call them cigs back in the day, but smoked cigs, you know, but no, yes, it's really bad for you. And yeah, this has kind of gone into a health tangent / the 80s conversation. So where are some of you guys from? I am just curious. Kind of jumped on here originally to talk about autoimmune diseases and health, and that my hope is to do some more live streams where we talk about that, not just talking about true crime stories, because it does get very negative, but it is interesting. Yes, Logan, I agree with you. One Love, I'm curious, how do you view Americans? And please feel free to be 100% honest about that. Society definitely has changed where you don't know who you can trust. Charlene, you're from Indiana? Okay. So you're in the US as well. Is it getting warmer there? I have family in Michigan, and I went to visit about a month ago, and it was in the 50s. I think one day it got to 60 degrees, and I was like, oh, thank God. But I know, One Love, you in Canada, I feel like you also can go to the pharmacy, right? And kind of buy things. Can you, okay, let's say if you get the flu, can you go buy Tamiflu over the counter? God, I hate to hear that it scares you to visit because of the gun violence here. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even feel comfortable going to a movie theater anymore. I wanted to take the opportunity to go to my first country concert. That's, you know, I made like a little bucket list after I got diagnosed with breast cancer. Again, if you're just joining in, I'm cancer free now. But I made a bucket list of things I want to do, you know, just because I was trying to be positive and look forward to things. And one of them was going to a country concert. And then it brought me back to the whole Vegas shooting, and that every incident that happens like this, you didn't think it was going to happen or didn't expect it to happen, and it did. And it is scary not to know. Anything could happen at any time. And I can't run that well, so that's something I think about as well. Because of my neuropathy issues, I'm in like physical therapy just trying to walk up steps. So running, if chaos broke out from, you know, a shooting incident or something, that is not something I could do. So yeah, mostly rainy. Yes, April showers bring May flowers. So I'm definitely planning to go back up to Michigan in a couple weeks. My dad is also dealing with some health issues, and I'm trying to spend as much time with him as I can. Lord Prep, you don't have to delete your comment. You're fine. What did you write about owning a gun? I own a gun. Yes, One Love, you should go to the doctor. A lot of them do want to help. It's not the doctors trying to make money, it's the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies. I can tell you, I've met some of the greatest doctors on this whole journey I've been on. I'm so close with the surgeon who did my surgery. I can text him and say, this is going on. I'm kind of feeling anxious about it. What do you think? And he is amazing. And my MS doctor is like always on it. 6 a.m. he checks his portal and he sees what's, his patients wrote him. I think the best advice I can ever give people is don't settle for a doctor that you are not sure about. If you are iffy in any way, go get a second opinion. I ended up getting 5 doctor opinions after my chemotherapy because I knew something was wrong, and all 5 of them said they would have lowered my dose of chemotherapy due to having a pre-existing neuropathy condition. So I was too scared at the time to go to another doctor because I was like scared, like, oh, if I don't continue treatment, I'm gonna die. When I wish I would have taken a breath, taken a step back, went to another doctor and said, what would you do if I were your patient? So it's hard to find a good doctor. Why do you think that is? Someone was telling me a little bit about your healthcare system and that you have private doctors who are the ones who are going to make a little more money, and then just kind of the regular general doctors. Because I was trying to figure out, here in America, obviously the more specialized you are in some type of medicine, the more money you're going to make. And everyone knows doctors as wealthy, I would say, in this country. Not all doctors, but when you specialize in something, yes, people are going to assume, you're wealthy because you have value in whatever skill you've learned. So curious. Also, going to school there to become a doctor, what is that like? I have another thought about your question about the 80s. In the 80s, kids weren't trying to be like influencers. I'm not trying to say that people don't put in hard work to make videos and make content, but if everyone wants to be famous online, then what about the trade jobs? Who is going to do the plumbing when you build a house? Who is going to do your hair when you're getting ready to go to an event and want to look good? Yes, and I don't mean to like harp and be like this old 40-year-old lady being like, kids today, or anything like that. One thing I definitely, as a parent, am going to push my children to do is learn a trade skill. Whatever trade skill it is, pick one you want, but let's learn something that you can fall back on if your hopes and dreams don't work out. Something that you can go do. Oh, John, that's so kind of you. I don't know if you're just joking, but Um, I want them to learn a trade that no matter what happens in our society, it's going to be a valued trade that we need. Like, yeah, and I feel like this new generation doesn't value trade. They value social media fame and stardom, and I find that really disappointing. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I wanted to be a filmmaker when I was 7 years old. Like, I thought I was going to be a filmmaker. Um, I did end up following my passion, but I went into television broadcast instead. But luckily my parents, didn't crush my dreams, and luckily everything worked out for me. Unfortunately, down the road I got sick, but I just find it really important with my kids. I'm going to have them learn a trade skill, whatever that may be, and pick it. Some college or some high schools now, I don't know if this is where you guys are, but some high schools now are offering, once you're in your senior year, they call it a dual enrollment. I did that where, like, I went to college and worked on my associates while I was in high school. So then you're kind of like knocking out a little bit of college time as well. But they also have courses where you can learn a trade skill. So you go like half of the morning to your regular high school classes, and the afternoon you go learn your trade, whatever it may be. And I think that's awesome. I think that's how all high schools should operate. They should almost be forcing kids to do that. So that's something they can use in life. They can really get a glimpse of the real world and how the real world works. I'm just reading some of your comments. Stepdaughter's 18, has no desire to get a job. Oh, that's a bum. Well, what is she into? Yep, and all the funding is being cut from research. Yes. Thank you, Charlene. I'm having a really hard time with my situation with my dad. They'd watched me in 2023 and 2024 go through cancer. I went to the Mayo Clinic because my neuropathy was bad, and then I came home and got off the plane, and my dad was in the ER, and he was diagnosed with colon cancer. So I'm not going to talk about that too much because it's going to get me emotional. But shit, sorry. I hate that they had to see me go through that, and then now they're going through it, and that's really hard. Health is wealth, and if you can do anything to prevent things from going too far, do it. I know a lot of women are scared to book mammograms. Don't be scared. Just do it. No joke, I'm sitting outside waiting for my husband. He's going to get his colonoscopy right now. And I'm very glad he's doing it. I want to make sure we stay on top of things. The earlier you know and you can detect things, then you can treat it and get on it. Karen, I'm not sure what your comment is in regards to. I think I have to go back. Maybe I missed something. And then Charlene, when you're saying about the research being, please, one love, you know what? This is what I always tell myself. I get frustrated that I cannot go run like the pink walks and do all these breast cancer events because I physically can't. But I tell myself, if I can convince a friend to go get a mammogram or go get the screening that they have to do, please do it. Maybe you stumbled upon this live today just for that reason. Maybe this is the kick in the ass to call and make the appointment to do the screening. I know that it's a pain in the butt to take off work and go do these things, but it is so important to do it. Please do it. Like, I really hope that in a week, you come back to one of my videos or my lives and you're like, I booked it, I did it. Because my breast cancer was caught by accident. And it scares me to know I would have went a whole year until I got my first mammogram. And by then, it would have been stage 4, is pretty much what my doctor told me. So, not that you can't survive when it's stage 4, but the battle is much, much harder the longer it has to grow in the system. And I understand about anxiety making you live in fear. The good thing to think about is if you do catch something, there are things we can do right now to stop it. I am proof of it. And I think when I do a lot of these lives too, I want to talk about how cancer is not exactly always like what you see in the movies. There are people who are going to drop out of your life. There are people who are not going to be as supportive as you expect them to be, or digest the information the way you expect them or want them to. So did I feel anything coming up to the discovery? I don't know what that means. Can you explain that a little further? Oh, did I feel anything? No, nothing, no lump, nothing. So I will give you like a kind of background if you want to hear. I have had chronic back pain for 4 years, and I was diagnosed with MS, and my back was hurting. It was hurting, and I had to go on narcotics to treat this. I tried doing a back ablation, which is where they burn the nerves to cut off the nerve sending the signal to your brain that there's pain. That did not work. Out of desperation, I was always a heavy-set girl. I said to my doctor, do you think I should try to get a breast reduction? Do you think that would help? And he's like, well, I think anything will help. You know, take the weight off of the area this lesion in my back is, and the stem cell is T4 and 5. So if you know a little bit about the skeletal structure, that's where it is. So I go into this consultation thinking, okay, I'm going to go get a breast reduction. It's going to take weight off of my shoulders. And they told me I had to go get, just a regular mammogram before they do the procedure. We had it all set up, ready to go. I'm pumped. And then I went in for that, and I just felt weird energy from the person who gave me the what do you call it? The mammogram, the ultrasound, all that. And I told my husband that night, they're going to call me back. I just have a feeling. And he was like, I think you're being paranoid. And I was like, no. I was like, me and that girl were chatting it up and we were having a good time. And then all of a sudden she got really serious. And, hi, Faze. And sure as shit, Monday morning, it wasn't even Monday. They called me the next day. This was a Thursday. So they called me Friday and they go, we need you to come back in. We need more imaging. And we want to do a biopsy. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So I go back in, do the biopsy. I wait all weekend. That was agonizing. On Monday, they called me without an appointment. And this is the funny thing. I'm that type of person who, like, if you're going to tell me something bad, just tell me on the phone. Don't call me in. So I went down to the doctor's office and I said, if you're going to tell me on Monday I have cancer, can you just call me and tell me on the phone? And they were like, you're okay. You know, like 80% of people who have these, they call them califications. They're non-cancerous. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, but I'm asking you, just call me on the phone if something comes up. Well, they didn't call me on the phone. They called me Monday and they asked me to come in without an appointment. And I'm like, this can't be good. So I kind of was like in shock going there, and then we sat down and he's like, well, he's like, we're not going to be moving forward with your surgery as a reduction. And he's like, you have breast cancer in your right breast. And then it's like, you kind of just fade out. I went to that appointment by myself and I was just not, I think I was in kind of denial, you know, when I was going. So he said, we have to do a double mastectomy. And he's like, you're not going to see me for a while. He's like, this has grown to stage 2, so you need to meet with oncology right away. So like 2 days later, I had to meet with the oncologist, and they just like rip you through it, man. Like, I'm grateful they were so quick to get a plan together and start treatment. But I wish I was, I wish I would have stopped and got a second opinion, because having a pre-existing condition like MS is almost like a diabetic person who got diagnosed with cancer. They're different than a healthy, regular 40-year-old going in to get treatment. So I wish that I would have stopped and went to a different doctor, because I was told what we could have done is done radiation, done surgery, the double mastectomy, and then done like half of a chemo round, which I did 6, so we would have done 3. The oncologist put it in a really great way. There's many ways to skin a cat. So there's many ways to get rid of cancer. Some people even do it naturally. I would not have done that because I have 2 kids to take care of. I have a responsibility to them. So I was gonna not try the natural way. But yeah, that is kind of the basics of my story, and I've had a health shit show going on for about 6 years now. So when a lot of subs come to my, thank you, when a lot of subs come into my group and they tell me that they're dealing with health struggles, I really want to talk and be a support system for each other, because unless you're dealing with chronic illness every day, no one really gets you. Explore Islam. I mean, I'm open to learning about all religions. But I was raised Catholic, and that's kind of what has helped me get through it. I'm also more like spiritual. I do believe in like manifestation, about if I'm thinking positive things are going to happen. If I'm thinking about getting healthy, I'll become healthy. If I stay in a negative mindset, then negativity is going to continue to dwell and fester. So I like to think of it that way. It's not always hard, especially on the days when I don't feel good and I don't want to get up. Don't wait to just like see me, if you're watching a lot of my content, you kind of just see me here, but like I'm always icing my back, always, constantly, because I'm in pain, constantly in pain. And I, have no other choice but to try to push through it. They did, if any of you guys have ever had this, I'm curious, you've got 30 people on here. They did suggest getting the stimulator in my back, which I guess like would send signals to the nerves. But then I've heard stories where it didn't work for people. So I'm curious. I already tried the ablation and that didn't work. I'm a little weird about having a foreign object in my back that zaps me. That freaks me out a little bit. But I truly think in the next couple years, does CBD help with pain? Yeah, but I have to buy the really expensive bottle. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but it is like $100 bottle. And I'm out of it right now. I need to order some more. But what is AF? I need to know what that is. There's so many abbreviations for medical stuff. What CBD oil do you try? I'm curious. No, it's not cheap. And I have a medical card as well, but I haven't tried the oil. In Michigan, it's legal, where my family's from. So I'm not like a huge fan of the gummies. A lot of people are like, the gummies. Something about the oil and eating it doesn't do well for me. It makes me kind of paranoid. It makes me on edge. But I have found a little success with smoking it. But I'm only doing that like if I'm away from my kids, which is not often. I struggle with this back and forth of how do I manage my pain but be mentally present for my family. So oh, in England, is it legal to smoke, just not edibles? I mean, both. I have a medical card, so if I wanted to, but my biggest challenge I've talked to my pain doctor about is I want to be present for my kids. I want to be able to play with them, hang out with them, not be tired, be sharp, mentally sharp, be on it. And I'm sure we all know when you do smoke or you eat edibles or even if you drink alcohol, you're not 100% there. You're just kind of like, and I don't want to be that. So it's hard. Yeah. That's really interesting. I think in the next couple years, it all will become legal. It's just a matter of time. My kids are 6 and 5, so they're young. And they are running to run around and play. I think the older they get, the more I might try doing, I consider like CBD and cannabis natural. I mean, it comes from a plant. I am open to trying more of the like homeopathic remedies in the future, but right now I'm just trying to get by with what I've got. Yeah, there's nothing to keep us 100%. And that's the scary part, is it's like at some point we're all gonna go, right? But one big thing I've been focusing a lot lately on is quality of life versus quantity. And as my dad goes through this journey, I keep telling him, if you are in pain, and you get to the point where you don't want to take the medicine anymore, I understand. And that's hard for everyone else in my family to hear. But I get it, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel like you're dying of the flu. Like, I guess that's the best way to describe chemo, the days after it. Cause if you ever need someone to chat with, I'm here. And I'm not just saying that. That's why I wanted to start the channel. I mean, I love true crime. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I have a passion for health and helping raise awareness about all of the things. About cancer, about autoimmune diseases, about autism. That's another whole thing that I'm dealing with my son, is trying to give him the best life possible and giving him all the tools he needs to be the most successful he can be, and accepting him for who he is. And that's, I don't know how many of you in here are parents, but damn, it's hard. It's hard, especially if another kid you start to notice, like, says you're weird, or, you know, it says something like that. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. We're getting to that age where it's getting difficult. I know. Yeah, well, I would love for you to come back to one of my lives. I'm trying to figure out a time that works best to schedule them. So maybe I will get off here and do a poll and see when the best time is for people to do health discussions. And what I would like to do is, like, pull people up in the box where they can talk and share their story, talk about what worked for them, what didn't work for them, or if they need advice. That would be ideal to me. And we don't even have to do it live. It could be recorded. But I need to kind of know everyone's schedule and when it works. Thank you for subscribing. And I'm glad you found me. And I'm telling you, my email is in my bio. I'm really hoping I get an email from you in a couple days and you tell me, Jen, I scheduled my screening. I'm going on Tuesday, because I feel like you stumbled upon this live for a reason. And I think it was your reminder to book your screening. Hi, Bianca. So I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. I didn't intend to go 43 minutes, and here we are. I really am happy to have you all join me, especially since I'm not talking about true crime. I do get a little disappointed that that is all people want to talk about sometimes. But I get it. It's an interesting topic, but I think if I can do anything to help share my experience and share other people's experience, even if they just need to vent, like, hey, I'm going through this, I need some advice. That's what I hope to do with my channel. But yeah, I'm gonna end it, you guys. And one love, please. Well, Jen, please email me. And I really do hope you book your screening. Like, there's no excuse. You could pick up the phone right now and book that. Do it. I hope you all have a great day. And thank you so much for joining me. And stay healthy, stay well, and take 5 minutes of your day to just relax, do some deep breathing. I plan to post some meditation videos on here as well in the month of May. I'm going to get way more health oriented for sure.